Hey guys, alrighty, so we have finished up all the sciencey type stuff, so now we can start moving forward. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just tell it what tech to use, or what tech to research, I guess. So trains are going to be a biggie because, like I say, we want to start using trains. Warehouses, we're going to start wanting to get there. Landfill, we're going to start needing it. So these first three definitely. Mini loaders, we're going to start wanting to get into. We're not really, well, we are making blue science, I guess, now, so we could start looking at the blue science stuff too. Alright, so let's do trains. Let's do landfill. It's cheap and we're going to want it. Lube, we're not really needing yet. We're not hurting for it yet. Trains. We don't need fluid wagons yet, because of where we're gonna go. The car is nice, but the problem with the car, I run into shit. But then that gives us the tank. So maybe we want the car just because we want the tank, but then we got to get the explosives and we got to get military 3. So maybe we'll wait on that. Let's do warehouses to start planning that stuff. Let's do circuit network because we're going to start needing those. Jeez, decisions, choices. Boost our armor, do accumulators, do solar power. Alright, that's going to get us started on our tech tree. Meanwhile, we need to really kind of start producing the things that we need. So I think we're going to start producing stuff in earnest. Now I went over to the blueprint page and I got this this mall book, and there's 2 malls in it. There's a version 1 and a version 2. We're going to plop down version 1. Now if you look, I don't know if you guys can see, in the very center there, it needs red circuits. Well, we're not making red circuits yet because we just got our research done and we don't have a fluid processing or anything else like that. So we're gonna want to be making those prior to making this, as far as order on the bus. So we're gonna leave ourselves some room. So I'm gonna come over here. Now we got the water up here that's kind of in the way. We got this cliff that's in the way that we don't have cliff explosives. So we're going to squeeze this in right like in this area as best we can. Now the thing with that is we have this set of power lines here that we need to just kind of take out real quick first. Now if we look, it's this line here, but we got a route around it, so we're okay. And here shortly we will have landfill, so we can even fill in those little puddly lakes if we wanted to. which maybe we'll do that. Gives us a little more flexibility on where we put this. There it is. Now we got landfill. So let's grab some stone. We'll grab all the stone out of storage, and we'll just make all the landfill. There we go. Now we don't have to contend with that water. We still have the cliff we have to get around, but that's okay. But now we can come up higher and give ourselves some room from the bus. Alright, so I think we'll do it right there. That works for me. We could actually take out those poles, and then when we put this down, it'll make that connection. Oops, I didn't want to take out that. We'll leave that. Boy, that science really just cooking right along, ain't it? Alright, there we go. How's that? Does that put us... Yeah, that gives us enough room to connect to the bus, keeps us out of the way of the bus. So we'll throw that down. So that's going to be our mall. And if you look, it's all yellow belts. So we're good to go on that. We can grab the belts and just build that all up. So we're going to grab that, should be plenty. I'm going to grab all the yellow inserters and undergrounds and what have you out of here. Get rid of all the junk except the fish. I want to carry our fish with us in case. Alright, let's see what that gets us. And then we'll grab some assemblers. Not the right ones, but that's okay, we'll upgrade. Or we'll downgrade the blueprint. Blues to grays. There we go. Just to get started on the manufacturing part of it. Looks like we're going to need some chests. Let's do this. Let's change from wooden chests to iron chests because we have those. We're going to have to make a bunch of medium poles, but that's minor. we'll get everything else filled in first. I don't think we need that guy. Oh, looks like we missed or something. I don't know why that's going that far. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to need chest, we're going to need poles, and we're going to need a couple of red inserters. Let's go down here and get some iron and some copper. So there's enough of that. That's enough of that. We're gonna go over here and get some steel. I think I got some steel over here in storage that we can make some poles from. Yes. Steel. Steel. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's screw it. Let's make the whole 100, right? Okay. Now that'll get this going. We won't be able to make everything because we're not making red circuits, but that's okay. We can also get rid of this because we're not going to go, oops, shit. That was a dumb move. Alright, there we go. Alright, now you just have to wait for the poles. While we're doing that, we can put the rest of these chests in. Maybe. Well, we still don't have enough chests. Alright, so tech. We want that. We definitely want bulk rail loaders. Mini loaders. We'll do the fluid wagon. Screw it. Braking force, not worried about it yet. Yes, definitely want those. Signals, we're going to want the signals. Alright, we'll get lubricant. Because the other thing we're going to do in this episode, we're going to get our fluid handling started. We're almost done with the poles. I'm kind of waiting on the chest because we got some chests over here that we got to fill in. Still low on chests. Really? Alright, fine. Still want to get rid of that. Alright, so we still need some more iron because we still need some more chests. There we go. Alright, so I think that should be everything, with the exception of that right there, which we don't need. We can get rid of that radar as well. Okay, so let's run our bus out here. There we go. So now, let us run the stuff assist we can up assist here. So, iron. Bricks we don't have yet. This is both copper and... Alright, so we're going to want to do this. And this is, oops, well, we probably should have left that. Well, we'll just have to remember that that's steel. Alright, this is green and red. So green, red. And once again, iron. So we don't have red, stone, iron, or redstone, steel, and brick coming in. So those are the ones we still need to bring over. But this will get us started on some of the basic stuff. And then we can worry about the rest from there. Now what's interesting, I guess, is that this did not connect, but that's okay. It is now connected. It's all connected. Alright. So that'll get us started on some of the things we're going to want and need. Now we're still going to have to work on getting the other 4 items we need over here, which means getting them on the bus. But this is going to give us some more of our stuff that we need in the bulk quantities that we kind of need it in. So that'll keep us going. Alright, the other thing we're going to need to look at is fluid. Now, what I got to thinking about, oh, and I got the rest of this walled in and cleared. Right now, the only oil we have is those 3 little pieces here, and then this patch here. We're going to have to build a refinery and what have you. So what I thought was, since this is the oil that we have now, since this area is relatively clear with the exception of these 3 patches, I was thinking we'll put our oil up here, and then we can train our product, because we're going to start working on training stuff anyway this time. So we'll put our oil up here by itself, and then down here we're going to do 2 things. This right in here is going to be our receiving for our plates and our stuff for our bus. Okay. We're going to eventually we'll get rid of all of these cliffs. This will be like our incoming depot. So for now, this here will be our smelting, and we'll actually build a little train to go back and forth between here. I know it's kind of wasteful to do that, but if we set it up that way, then when we expand, we'll have our trains. If we take this out, we can still hook our trains right into there, and that'll be our incoming. That's my thought process. So our next step, we're going to go up here and we're going to build our fluid handling. Are we already making stuff for that? Let's see if there's tanks, which are not being made yet because we don't have steel coming in, which would also be why we're probably not making refineries and stuff. There's chemical plants, there's refineries. Yeah, we got to get steel and brick in here. All right, so let's do that. Let's do this. Let's expand this. All right. Oh, do we have any in storage? We might already have some stored. We don't. We'll grab that stone though. But look and see if we have any furnaces stored already, and we don't apparently. So we'll make some more furnaces. And we're going to go down here and we're expanding this. Shit. We got the power plant in the way, so we can't go too far, but we're going to at least go this far. Can we fit one more? We can fit one more. All right, there we go. Because we're going to steal off of that. All right. Okay. Right. All right. There we go. I'm leaving a space because I want to put red circuits in there. All right. Not a perfect solution because we're not making much, but we're making a little bit. That'll get us started on that. Brick and stone. Okay. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, always cross the bus doesn't cross you. That's the habit I'm trying to get into here. We're not going to use 2 of these lines yet, but we're going to run them just to have them there, just as reminders. Okay, there we go. Now, brick and stone. Where's our brick and our stone? There's our yeah. So the question is, how do we bring them down here? Well, like that, I think. Yeah, why not? Alright, we're going to need some more undergrounds. Once we get this going, we're definitely going to need to start worrying about our production. This is not nearly enough. We know that's not nearly enough. This is just getting us going. Do, do, do. One, two, three, 4. Right, okay. Now we need stone. Everybody must get stone. Okay, there's stone. Brick. Brick. This is stone. This is the only time that I do this kind of crossing over the bus, and it's strictly to tap into something. So there's the steel going up. The only thing we don't have now is the red circuits going up. And they are going to run here. We're not going to run that all the way down because it's only going to go to somewhere in this area anyway. And it's going to want to go here. I like to gap it. Just to be able to see so that I don't accidentally get any overlap kind of shit. Oh, alright, there we go. Right, so that's all set up. It's just not producing everything because we don't have red, which we will have soon enough. Alright, now, next. Substations we're gonna want the car. We're gonna want explosives. We're gonna want gates. Let's grab those. Concrete I'm not too worried about, but I think we need it for some stuff. Yeah, when we get into uranium processing, we're going to need it. We're going to need motors. Alright, there we go. Right, so that's all started. Alright, so let's go and get rid of whatever junk we can get rid of. We're going to want those, and those, and that, and those, and those. And those. We've already got some, we might as well grab the rest. Right? Okay. So let's head up here. See, that's why I say we're going to have to start working on our resources next. Well, that's kind of really what we're doing. We're working on the receiving end of it. Very soon we're going to have to work on the producing end of it. Alright, there we go. Let's head on up here and deal with our oil. Oh, come on. Damn it. Start chopping down trees. Now, I know I'm kind of separating these things out, but the reality is we got an entire planet. We got plenty of room. We're going to have to pick that stuff up eventually. Alright, so go up here. Now, I was looking around for fluid processing, and I came across this one, and I like it. It looks pretty good. But one thing I don't like about it, and I find this with a lot of blueprints, or later on blueprints, and I get why they do it, because you know, walking around is easier and this, that, and the other. But if you look, it's mostly it's all concreted in. Well, concrete we're not making yet. We just did the research on it, but man, concrete takes forever. You got to have a big plant to do it and stuff. We don't have it right now. So what I did is I went into the blueprint, and you can do this. You just open the blueprint up, and over here in components, you can turn off by left clicking certain things. Now you see they're red. If I save this blueprint, it'll save it without the concrete. So you can get rid of things that you don't want, and you turn them back on by right clicking on them. Already did that. So I have one already done where I got rid of that. Now, we don't have some of this research yet. Also, we don't have the bots yet. But that's okay. We can get this started and start producing the stuff that we need to produce, and then we can go from there. Now, here's the question. Which part do we put up? Which part do we put down? This is our output. This looks like this is input for coal. I think this is coal liquefaction. So this is probably coal incoming here. One thing, like I said, this is something that I really am appreciative of, is when people do this, because then you know what the hell is coming in. On this blueprint, I got no clue. I got to go through and track this and figure it out. So if you're ever making blueprints, just a suggestion, put those in, so that people know what the hell is being put into it. Now we can figure it out on this one. We'll figure it out. This is obviously going to be our input for our crude. This is going to be our output for everything else. Like I said, this is probably coal and probably iron and copper as well, because we got sulfur going, we got plastics going, we got explosives going. So that's probably what's going to be coming into all of this. Alright, so, you know, just something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead, snag this blueprint. Let's go out here to our map, because we're up in this area. As long as we're within our little radar thing, we can plop this down, and then we can kind of line it up later. Now, we're going to need coal, right, for this, but we're also going to need iron. Well, we got some iron here already that we can kind of stick this in somewhere. Now, we don't have cliff explosives yet, so we're kind of having to work around the cliffs a little bit to get it to fit, but that's okay. And then there's our oil, so I like that. That's close enough. Shift to get rid of the trees. I think we can live with putting it there. So now if we go back to this, it may not have put everything down, but it looks like it did. And we can check and make sure, yes, everything is on there. Now, again, this is still set up for reds, so we're going to have to change this over to yellows for now. Up from red to yellow, from red to yellow, from red to yellow, right? Just so that we can get her started. There we go. Now we just let it build it. Now obviously it's not going to be able to build everything. We don't have some of the technology. We don't have the rope boards and shit like that. But this is where bots really come in handy, is pipes. Because trying to do this by hand, you will go blind and you're going to mess a pipe up. I guarantee you'll mess a pipe up. So we're going to need an ass ton of pipe. Alright, let's go through here and finish putting down what we can that we've got in hand. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to need red inserters, we're going to need an ass load of pipe, we're going to need some more belt stuff, and then of course all the oil processing stuff, which we should now be making. We're going to leave that open because it doesn't matter anymore. Get down here, get rid of stuff we don't need. Alright, we sat down all our blues, sat down all of those. We're going to keep the chest in case. Alright. Alright, so let's go over here and get what we can get. We're going to want belts. That should be enough. We're going to want undergrounds, and we're going to want splitters. Alright, and then we're going to want an ass ton of pipe. Which doesn't look like we got much yet, which is okay. We're going to want some tanks. We're going to want pumps. We're going to want chem plants. This is all going to have to cook for a while, obviously. Reds. And the nice thing about this mall is it's already got the logistics set up, or not logistics, but the amounts set up so that it doesn't overproduce. Now, what I don't see, there they are. And what is this in need of? Green steel, which we've got it, we're just not getting a lot of it. So other things are taking it, which is okay. Alright. Mana. Let's get uranium processing, because we're gonna want to start making it. We're gonna start at least processing it. We're gonna want robotics, definitely, and we're gonna want construction bots. And let's get the uranium. Cliff explosives, definitely. I don't think we need to really worry about that yet. Ooh, that's a lot. But we're making it pretty quick. Man. Sure. There we go. That'll keep it busy for a while. we'll go out and drop this load off, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to put our incoming smelting. And then once we've got that figured out, the rest of actually building it and filling it in, I can do off camera. It's just a matter of waiting for the materials. Now, one of the reasons I chose this plant, it's tileable. You can, if you need to expand this plant, just plop down more of the same, and they all hook up at the ends. Which is kind of nifty. How much does that take? 200? Kind of flying through it, which is nice. Now, we don't have the tier 3s for the assemblers yet, so we may go back and change that to the grays. I don't know, we'll see. We don't really need them yet. Out of pumps? We're out of pumps. Out of tanks, out of tanks. Out of long-handed. Out of everything. All right, cool. Good deal. Go back down here and look at where we're going to put our incoming resources. Good, cliff explosives. We'll have them soon. Not that we'll be making them, but we'll have them. Okay, so this is, turn this off. This is where we're going to put our incoming. So, that is, we have this smelting option, or we have this smelting option. This one takes up a lot of room, but it's all built as one piece. And it looks like the trains are incoming and outgoing. The question is, can we actually fit that fucker? Well, that's a big plant, right? Okay, why don't we do that though? If we do it here, right, we can still mine the ore that's missing. We'll have to deal with the cliff explosives and maybe a little bit of landfill. But it's got the trains and everything set up already. This other one, I like it, but I have to build it individually. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's also going to take up, so obviously this is going to be our incoming smelting, not this little pissant here. So if we do our incoming smelting here, our intake for our materials here, and like I said, I think I like this. I think we're going to try this one. Now obviously we're going to have to do some landfill, we're going to have to get rid of some cliffs, but we can do those things. So let's put that there. That is going to be our smelting. That's huge, but that's okay. So there it is, guys. That's where we're going to fill that in. We just got to start you know, clearing trees and clearing stuff and bringing stuff down here. So we're gonna, like I say, I'm gonna work on this off camera, get all the materials together, get it all moved down here. But that's where it's gonna go, guys. All right. You guys take care, and we're gonna go from there. All right. Bye.